So the PS4 is now $450 in Canada. God damn it. But before we get to this video, here's the question of the day. Alright, so essentially the PlayStation 4, the new system, the next-gen system of Sony, the most popular, I guess, 8th gen console right now, is now more expensive and more pricey for Canadian gamers if they are still planning on getting this system. It's basically been raised by Sony from $400 to $450 Canadian. In order to, as Sony put it, to respond to changes in the market environment. The higher price is in effect starting today, March 15, 2014. Yes, that would be today's date. First time I made a video in a while, but anyway. The PS4 system delivers phenomenal play experiences that will shape the world of... shut the fuck up, Sony. God damn it. I'm sick and tired of this. You know, Canada always gets the shittiest prices. And because, I mean, living so close to the United States, right next to the US, and then we see their prices, because I'm from Canada, or I live in Canada. I'm not from Canada, but I live here. And, you know, generally Canadian gaming is pretty much the same as what American gaming gets, because it's, you know, North American, the NTSC, and... you know, Canadians pretty much get what Americans deliver and what they have to offer, and because the market is so similar and there's a shared demographic, really, it's, you know, a shared market, a shared product market. You know, we get the PS4 as well, we get the Xbox One, we get all these little things, and sometimes we even get consoles or models of consoles that are not available in the United States. You know, for example, the Slim Wii. If you guys remember that, which came out a lot later in the United States, from my understanding. It's like a slim version, you know, the red one, the red Wii. I believe Canada got that first. And, I mean, just taking a look at this price, it's now going to be revised from a Canadian $399.99 to $449.99. Suggested retail price, so it's going to be $450, you know, in these stores, whether it's EB Games, I'm sure, Best Buy, Future Shop, and so on and so forth. What a shame. And I've never heard of this before. I've never heard of a system, any console, going from the initial launch price or a certain price and then becoming more expensive after. Few months goes by, several months goes by after release. It's been out for a minute now, and now it's even more expensive. It's $450 instead of the $400 suggested pricing, because it's fucking Sony raised it. I mean, God, fucking Sony. Yeah, it's amazing. They basically screwed the gamers out of the this particular, you know, promise is going to be 400 bones. You know, like, wow. At the beginning it's like 400, and that was a selling factor. It was $100 cheaper than the Xbox One, the competition. You know, it's wow, it's relatively more affordable than the Xbone, and then now it's $450. So what kind of bullshit? Like, what really is going on? I'm curious to know why they did this. The Canadian dollar can't be that much lower. I mean, I know it like fluctuates, and generally for the majority of my life, it's, you know, the American dollar has been higher and more valued than the Canadian dollar, but I mean, I miss the times. There used to be years when Canadian dollar was actually a bit more than the American dollar. I mean, 7 years ago, in 07, for example, there were times when the Canadian buck was more valuable. It was either on par with the American dollar or a little bit higher, just slightly. But obviously, I mean, I don't keep up with the exchange rate. You know, I don't keep up with, it's something percent comparison to the American dollar. But it's always been relatively close to the point that, it's comparable. But now, you know, Sony has mentioned that it's what? They didn't say that it changed the price because of the declining value of the Canadian dollar. But at the current exchange rate of whatever the current exchange is, the 450 is equal to around 405 American. So 450 is just a little bit above the American retail price of the 400. I can't believe that's crazy. That's so obviously it is the Canadian dollar. It's the declining value, obviously. What the fuck is that? What kind of double talk is that? That's fucking... I can't even believe this stupid paragraph. It's not because of the declining value of the Canadian dollar. It's because the equivalent rate, the percentage, the ratio, it's the same fucking thing. It wouldn't be lower, the value of the Canadian dollar, if it wasn't a declining value. If it wasn't declining in the first place, then fucking Sony wouldn't have changed it. It would be the same. It would be the same value. They just... It's the same fucking reason, essentially. The declining value, which then results in a exchange rate of lower. It's lower than the American thing. And, you know, it's the fucking... Isn't that the same thing? What's the big difference? They didn't say that it changed the price because of the declining value, but at the current exchange rate, that's what the price is, which is the same thing. I don't know. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. Infamous Second Son and MLB 14 show will also come out at a higher price of $70 Canadian. 2 PlayStation exclusives. I didn't know the MLB was a PlayStation exclusive. That's kind of funny. Why the hell is that an exclusive to Sony? What? The show. Second Son obviously is $70. Holy fucking shit. So up here in Canada, we're gonna get $70 games now for the PS4 at launch. Oh my god. What kind of a waste is this? This is pathetic. And if this is the trend the Canadian dollar is going, oh my god, man. It's getting harder. It's gonna be much harder to be a gamer up here in this fucking country. God damn. Fucking Canada, man. I don't know. I mean, it's not right. 70 bones. It's like, holy shit, this is it? It's just more expensive here. It's pricey. It's $70 per game now. And that's without tax. I mean, fuck, a brand new $60 game, including the tax, is pretty close to 70. It's like 67 bucks or something like that. You know, 67 something. And that's 70. Fuck, this is gonna push the price to like 80, near $80, including the tax. Fucking hell. Ah, fuck. The Canadian thing is just, it's unfortunate, it sucks, and Canadian, I mean, it's, you have to be aware if you're living in Canada that it's just, the dollar value is not the same, and so this kind of shit will happen. It's not surprising, and I can tell you firsthand that the fucking, you know, Canadian prices when it comes to games and stuff like that, I find generally just more expensive than what Americans get. Like, we don't get sales here. You know, we don't get special deals and shit. Like, we don't get any of that. We don't get special sale deals or, you know, percentage off or markdown prices. Most of the time we don't. We don't get that shit. When it comes to retail, like actual brand new games or sealed games. You know, we still have this, the used market, you know, I mean, that's a different story, you know, like Best Buy selling a copy of a game for, you know, 10 to 15 bucks, but it's used, so it's already been opened. Something's wrong with the Canadian dollar right now, I guess. I mean, the economy might, I don't know. Fuck. Is Canada a sinking ship? I don't know. It probably is. Wouldn't be surprised. Is the Canadian economy fucking dying right now? I don't know. It probably is. I haven't kept up with it. You know. I mean, it's... I guess that's the... man, this is not a good sign. I would fear that maybe Canada ends up like Australia someday, where, you know, in Australia they got $100 games and shit like that, and maybe Canada will suffer the same fate. Well, eventually, it's like every game is like $100+ that's a possibility. If the dollar keeps declining in value, and the exchange rate obviously keeps decreasing, or I should say, keeps, you know, the gap gets bigger, basically. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, the Xbox One is apparently right now still 500 Canadian, so it's not raising the price of the Xbone, ironically enough. But, I mean, why they don't have to. It's already really expensive anyway. And in Europe, you know, they fucking lowered the price of that already, from what I understand. So the value of the Xbone has decreased anyway. And at 500 Canadian, that's probably around the same price of the European price. And I'm assuming also that in Canada, the Xbone is just not selling as hot in comparison. Just because of the, you know, lesser demand for the Xbone right now. So they want to, you know, move these units, they want to sell the Xbone, and all that good shit. And here's the answer to the question of the day.